Unexpected talent can emerge under pressure. Pressure is often seen as a force to avoid, a challenge that threatens to expose weaknesses. Yet history and experience repeatedly show that pressure is also a catalyst, a refining fire that brings hidden capabilities to the surface. When individuals are placed in situations they cannot predict, their instinctive responses often reveal skills they never realized they possess. The human mind has an extraordinary capacity to adapt, and pressure acts as a mirror, reflecting not just fear or hesitation, but the potential that lies dormant beneath routine and comfort. Under pressure, the normal patterns of thinking are disrupted. The brain is forced to bypass familiar shortcuts and access deeper levels of creativity and problem solving. Moments that seem insignificant at first, being called to present on short notice, asked to perform unexpectedly, or facing a sudden challenge, can ignite an awareness of strengths previously underestimated. It is in these moments that talent is not simply tested but revealed, often in ways that surprise both the individual and the observers. Unexpected talent under pressure is not always about technical skill or practiced ability. It is frequently about authenticity and resilience, the capacity to respond with clarity, courage, and focus when circumstances demand it. A shy voice can resonate powerfully when it carries genuine emotion. An untrained hand can perform feats of precision when instinct takes over, and a hesitant mind can solve complex problems when urgency sharpens perception. Pressure transforms latent skill into visible impact. The element of surprise plays a crucial role. Talent that emerges unexpectedly under pressure is particularly powerful because it defies expectation. People are often evaluated and labeled based on prior performance, but when a new challenge is imposed, these labels no longer confine potential. The individual, stripped of expectation, operates outside conventional boundaries and creates outcomes that appear almost magical. These moments remind us that human capability cannot be fully measured by routine metrics or prior observation. Pressure also fosters accelerated growth. The brain responds to stress by heightening attention, increasing responsiveness, and expanding the range of possible actions. When talent emerges under such conditions, it is often accompanied by rapid learning and adaptation. Skills that might have taken months of deliberate practice can manifest almost instantly as the mind and body converge in a state of heightened focus. This phenomenon demonstrates that the limits we perceive are often self-imposed, and the right challenge can unlock abilities far beyond our imagination. Finally, unexpected talent under pressure is not just a personal phenomenon, it has social resonance. When others witness someone rising to meet a challenge in an unforeseen way, it inspires belief, trust, and motivation across a group. The individual's performance becomes a signal, showing that human potential is far deeper and more resilient than assumptions suggest. It creates a ripple effect where one moment of revealed talent can shift perspectives, spark collaboration, and influence the collective approach to challenge. Vulnerability is a strength. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, a flaw that must be hidden to survive in competitive environments. Yet it is precisely through vulnerability that genuine strength emerges. To show vulnerability is to embrace honesty with oneself and others, to reveal the layers of uncertainty, doubt, or fear that every human carries. When individuals acknowledge their imperfections openly, they unlock the capacity for authentic connection, trust, and collaboration, which are far more powerful than rigid displays of invincibility. Exposing vulnerability allows for self-awareness to deepen. Recognizing what one does not know or where one feels insecure creates a foundation for growth. When a leader admits uncertainty or a person shares a struggle, it invites learning, adaptation, and innovation. The act of acknowledging limitations is not a surrender. It is a conscious decision to confront reality with clarity and courage. It transforms moments of doubt into opportunities to explore new possibilities and redefine capability. Vulnerability fosters resilience. When people confront their fears openly, they build an internal framework for handling adversity. Each act of transparency strengthens the mind against future challenges, creating a cycle of courage and confidence. By allowing oneself to be vulnerable, individuals train their emotional intelligence, learn to manage pressure, and cultivate empathy, qualities that are critical for sustainable success in any field. Vulnerability is the soil in which resilience grows. The strength of vulnerability is most evident in relationships and teamwork. Individuals who express their true selves, acknowledging uncertainty, admitting mistakes, or asking for help, establish trust within their network. This trust accelerates collaboration and problem solving because others feel safe to share their own perspectives and insights. Environments that embrace vulnerability become fertile grounds for creativity, innovation, and shared achievement, proving that strength is not solitary, but relational. Vulnerability also drives authenticity and influence. People are naturally drawn to those who show their genuine selves, unshielded by pretense or ego. A leader or individual who models openness encourages others to take risks, experiment, and engage fully without fear of judgment. The courage to be vulnerable signals confidence in one's own identity, and that confidence resonates more profoundly than traditional forms of power or control. Finally, embracing vulnerability sharpens decision-making and problem-solving. When one admits the limits of knowledge or understanding, it opens space for curiosity, exploration, and collaborative insight. Risk is no longer paralyzing, but a catalyst for learning and innovation. Vulnerability allows a person to navigate complexity with agility, to adapt strategies based on reality rather than assumptions, and to transform challenges into breakthroughs. Impact goes beyond intentions and the starting point of action, but they are never the sole measure of consequence. Even the most carefully considered plans can ripple outward in ways that exceed or diverge from original expectations. What one sets out to achieve is often only part of the story. The real impact is shaped by perception, context, and the interconnected systems that respond to every decision. Understanding this distinction is critical for anyone aiming to create meaningful change. Actions carry weight beyond what we imagine. A single word, gesture, or decision can inspire hope, provoke thought, or even trigger a chain of events that transforms lives. While intent defines purpose, it does not control reception. Others interpret actions through their own experiences, biases, and needs, which means the effect of what we do is rarely confined to our own perspective. Recognizing this dynamic forces a deeper responsibility for the consequences of our behavior. The power of impact lies in its unpredictability. Often, the most profound influence occurs in ways the actor never anticipated. A casual act of kindness can alter someone's trajectory, a seemingly minor innovation can revolutionize an industry, and a spontaneous expression of courage can spark a movement. These outcomes remind us that influence is not linear. It expands, multiplies, and evolves in ways that surpass intent. Impact also emphasizes the importance of awareness and empathy. By considering the broader ecosystem affected by decisions, one can navigate consequences with foresight and care. True leadership requires understanding that actions resonate beyond immediate circles and short-term goals. Even small interventions can catalyze systemic change when executed with insight and mindfulness. Sometimes impact challenges the actor's own assumptions. What we hope to create may not be what the world experiences, yet the divergence itself can carry immense value. Learning to embrace the unexpected consequences of actions transforms mistakes into opportunities and unintended outcomes into sources of innovation. It shifts the focus from control to influence, from expectation to observation, and from intent to legacy. Finally, the difference between intent and impact highlights the need for humility and reflection. No matter how visionary a plan may be, its true effect is measured by the lives it touches and the systems it shapes, rather than the clarity of purpose alone. Awareness of this gap encourages deliberate action, continuous learning, and the pursuit of outcomes that matter in ways beyond personal desire. Emotion connects deeply. Human beings are not solely rational creatures. They are driven by emotion as much as by logic. While facts and strategies matter, it is emotion that truly resonates, shapes decisions, and fosters lasting connection. When individuals express genuine feelings, whether joy, fear, hope, or vulnerability, they tap into a universal language that transcends differences and unites people in understanding. Emotion is the bridge between intention and experience, linking inner truth with external perception. The power of emotion lies in its immediacy. A heartfelt word, a meaningful gesture, or a display of passion can cut through complexity and uncertainty in ways that reasoning alone cannot. People remember how they felt far longer than what they heard or saw, and these emotional impressions influence behavior, loyalty, and trust. Those who learn to harness emotion can inspire, motivate, and move others in profound ways, creating resonance that is impossible to achieve through intellect alone. Emotion also fuels authenticity. When individuals allow themselves to feel deeply and communicate honestly, it signals courage and self-awareness. Authenticity nurtures trust because it demonstrates alignment between internal experience and external action. Audiences, teams, and communities respond to this consistency, recognizing the honesty behind emotion as a source of strength rather than weakness. Genuine connection emerges when people perceive that another person is real, vulnerable, and sincere. Empathy is a direct extension of emotional connection. Understanding and sharing the emotions of others allows for more effective communication, collaboration, and leadership. When emotion flows in both directions, it creates a shared space where creativity, problem solving, and innovation thrive. Individuals are inspired not merely by ideas, but by the emotional energy that accompanies those ideas, which amplifies their impact and sustainability. Emotion transcends cultural, linguistic, and intellectual boundaries. In moments of crisis, celebration, or inspiration, emotional expression communicates in ways words often fail to capture. A song, a performance, a story, or even a silent act of presence can generate profound understanding across communities, ages, and societies. The universality of emotion allows it to penetrate barriers and create connections that logic alone cannot achieve. Finally, emotion drives memory and legacy. Experiences anchored in feeling leave impressions that endure far longer than abstract concepts or technical achievements. The emotional resonance of an action often outlives the specifics of its execution, influencing behavior, values, and choices long after the moment has passed. This deep connection ensures that human interaction remains more than transactional, transforming it into something meaningful, memorable, and transformative. Together, they provide the inner resources necessary to navigate uncertainty, seize opportunity, and transform vision into accomplishment. Persistence and self-belief. Persistence is the engine of achievement. It transforms obstacles into opportunities and challenges into lessons. While talent and intelligence are important, they rarely guarantee success without consistent effort over time. Each attempt, each setback, and each adjustment builds momentum, creating the cumulative force that propels ideas, projects, and ambitions forward. The act of persisting demonstrates commitment not only to goals, but also to personal growth and mastery. Self-belief acts as the compass guiding persistence. When individuals trust in their abilities and vision, they are more willing to take risks, endure failures, and remain focused in the face of uncertainty. Doubt can erode effort while belief reinforces it, creating a feedback loop where confidence fuels action and action strengthens confidence. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is a quiet, steady assurance that what one is striving for is achievable and meaningful. Persistence transforms failure into insight. Each setback provides data revealing what works, what doesn't, and where adjustments are needed. Those who persist view challenges as experiments rather than verdicts. By continuously refining approaches and learning from missteps, they cultivate resilience and adaptability, traits that often distinguish those who succeed from those who give up prematurely. Belief in oneself also inspires others. When people observe consistent effort guided by conviction, it generates trust and motivation within teams, communities, or audiences. The combination of persistence and self-belief signals that challenges are surmountable and that commitment can yield tangible results. Influence grows not just from what is achieved, but from the demonstration of unwavering dedication. Persistence is often most critical in moments of doubt and adversity. It is in these periods that many give up, assuming that success is unattainable or that the effort outweighs the reward. Yet those who maintain focus and confidence during these times often unlock breakthroughs that were invisible to others. Momentum, once established, has the power to carry even the most ambitious goals into reality. Finally, self-belief and persistence are mutually reinforcing. Belief fuels effort, and effort strengthens belief, creating a cycle of continuous growth and expansion. Together, they provide the inner resources necessary to navigate uncertainty, seize opportunity, and transform vision into accomplishment. Innovation is about breaking norms. Innovation rarely occurs within the comfort of routine. True progress demands stepping outside established frameworks and questioning the assumptions that others take for granted. Norms exist to create predictability, but they can also constrain imagination, limit experimentation, and inhibit transformative change. Those who innovate recognize that boundaries are often constructs, not absolutes, and that real breakthroughs happen when these boundaries are challenged. Breaking norms requires courage. It is not enough to have ideas. One must act upon them even when they contradict conventional wisdom. The fear of failure, criticism, or social pushback often holds individuals back, but innovators see these as temporary barriers rather than permanent limitations. Courageous action turns unconventional ideas into practical solutions, opening the door for progress that once seemed impossible. Innovation thrives on questioning assumptions. By examining why things are done a certain way and exploring alternatives, individuals uncover new approaches that others overlook. This mindset transforms ordinary problems into opportunities for creative solutions. The willingness to challenge the way things have always been done is what separates innovators from followers and pioneers from observers. Collaboration amplifies the impact of breaking norms. When diverse perspectives come together, unconventional ideas are refined, tested, and scaled. Innovation is rarely a solitary act. It emerges from a network of minds willing to take risks, debate assumptions, and challenge one another constructively. The interplay of multiple perspectives ensures that bold ideas are not only visionary, but also implementable and sustainable. Failure is an inherent part of breaking norms. Every radical idea carries the possibility of rejection, setbacks, or missteps. Yet these failures provide critical learning, informing adjustments and iterations that ultimately strengthen the solution. The most revolutionary innovations often emerge after repeated attempts, each challenging the existing paradigm in a new way. Persistence in the face of failure is what turns radical ideas into lasting impact. Finally, breaking norms is not merely about defiance, it is about creating value. True innovation improves systems, solves meaningful problems, and advances human capability. By stepping beyond conventional expectations, individuals and organizations unlock possibilities that were invisible under traditional assumptions, proving that progress is achieved when curiosity, courage, and creativity converge.